Please welcome to Previewed, where friends don't let friends review movies alone.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Jay.
And today we're going to react, review, riff, and at the end we're going to rate the brand new, probably the best Spider-Man movie of all time, Spider-Man No Way Home. Hey Jay, let's do a quick no spoiler review of Spider-Man No Way Home.
We're in the no spoiler zone.
No spoiler zone. Hey, would you recommend seeing this movie?
Get a ticket right now. Just get your butt in that seat. That seat is waiting for your butt, and that screen is waiting for your eyes.
So,
it was
okay,
everything.
Yeah, it's everything you think and more. Because there have been so many little leaks here and there, people whispering about who's going to be in it, who's not going to be in it, what's going to be in it, whatever. Like, no, it is whatever you think is in the movie. It's way more than that.
Yeah.
It's very much more than that. This movie is so good. I've really had, I feel like I fell into a weird mental space.
Like a fugue state, but like a good one.
This movie is
You went like rigid in a way that was like, is he hating this? But then I was like, no, he's in the Speed Force with this movie.
Yeah. And I've been there for because I just had a conversation with Amanda and I was like, I'm acting weird. Why am I acting weird? And I realized it is because that this movie is so good and so special in that we live in a time that this movie exists.
Yeah.
And when I was a kid loving comic books and Spider-Man and things like that, I was teased, I was made fun of, I was bullied.
Yeah.
And now it is the mainstream pop culture is everything I like.
Yeah.
And this movie comes along and is like, hey Adam, all those things you like, even back, 20 years ago when it's just started to kind of creep into the mainstream, It wasn't quite there yet. Nah, man, you've always been right. This has always been really good. You are not wrong for loving all of this.
Yeah.
For your entire life, congratulations. You like the right stuff. This is a culmination of everything.
During the credits, I lean over at Adam, I go, because we saw it at 42nd Street, and I was like, I just want to walk down 42nd Street, just high-fiving people. Just, and then we're like, why are you high-fiving me? We're like, I saw Spider-Man, and it was awesome. Just high-five me, everybody. Yeah. But I will, and it's the one thing that I really appreciated about the film-going audience is that everyone was real quiet on the way out because I could feel, and we were too, because I was just like, no one wants to spoil this movie for anybody, because I was like, this is one of the few movies in a while that I was literally like, I really don't want to spoil this for anyone, because, yeah. So, but part of me was also we're riding the escalator down, I'm like, why isn't everyone just cheering? Why isn't everyone just high-fiving each other and kissing and just being and just we should be dancing in the streets.
We should all be dancing in the streets.
Okay.
We really should be. Okay, go see this movie. As soon as you safely can, go see this movie. See it somehow. You need to see this movie.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
The no spoiler section is over. We can't. It's over. That was 2 minutes.
This whole movie is spoilers.
It's okay. Spoilers from here on out. Seriously, if you have not seen this movie, do not watch this part. Come back. Trust us, even though there have been plenty of leaks and people whispered about things who's in it, who's not in it, what's going on. Don't watch this part of the video. Some of that stuff may or may not have been right, and it doesn't matter if it was because they don't know what actually happens in the movie.
Sometimes we do this to be courteous. This time we're doing a public service.
Don't watch this part. Come back. Seriously, come back. Okay, here we go. Spoilers from here on out. That was the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life since Endgame. The last act, are you kidding me? Are you f***ing kidding me? Are you kidding me? That was the coolest thing ever. Into the Spider-Verse, amazing, right? And it still remains to be.
Yeah.
But having the 3 live-action Spider-Man hanging out and being Spider Bros for like a good 45 minutes and like really being a Spider Bro family is one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life.
Yep.
And I didn't really enjoy the Garfield movies, but man, do I now love the Garfield movies.
They retconned the Garfield movies into... Because I've been on record on this channel as saying that Andrew Garfield is still my Peter Parker and still my Spider-Man. I actually love him as Spider-Man. And this just reinforced how good he is. Straight up, we kind of knew that they were going to be in this movie. Like, we just kind of knew. I didn't realize how much healing the three of them were going to be to each other. And I didn't realize that there needed to be. Because the thing is, we've existed in a world in which comic book movies like have done things like this as kind of a gimmick to get butts in seats. But the thing that I really appreciated about the three of them being in the movies is that they took their time with it. They like let the three of them be in the same space for a good long while, doing all the science stuff they're good at, like giving them time to like build relationships between each other and like and talk about each other's experiences. The stuff about him having organics, that's just chef's kiss. And I guess the thing that I hadn't realized until it was happening was that, and the one thing that I think this Peter Parker was missing from these movies was that we didn't ever get the with great power comes great responsibility moment. And the three of them sharing that moment on the roof, it was...
Yep.
Because if there's one thing that I think gets overlooked in the Spider-Man story is that like just how... Because he has allies here and there, but he's so alone. And like, sorry, I'm like kind of crying talking about it. But like him getting to have that moment with the Peters that came before gave it so much more resonance. Because let's be real, I can't watch Uncle Ben die again. But like, if you can give me that flavor in that way, it makes it, it's like, I was like, this is like that moment, but like even more...
So let's
Ow.
Did you just break it down?
Ooh, yeah!
Ooh. Who's knocking at that door?
Sorry, I was really in the moment there. Ooh, I really broke it too.
Ay.
It's okay. I'm all right.
Let's back up real quick. We'll jump back to obviously to Act 3 in a second. Let's back up and get through all the stuff before that.
Yeah.
So,
sorry, that's like the one thing
we have
taken
yes,
away.
Absolutely. Movie starts off obviously right where we left off.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic. Oh my God, there's J. Jonah Jameson. It's the same guy. It's fantastic. Everything's great. He's running from everything. Everything's bad.
Yep.
And then he gets caught. Well, gets arrested because all the fallout from the previous movie. And then Marvel, you sneaky bastards. We watched Hawkeye yesterday. Yesterday was the big reveal of spoilers for Hawkeye episode 5, if you have not seen it. Kingpin is in episode 5, and it's Vincent D'Onofrio. And so yesterday, we were all like, oh my God, if it's D'Onofrio, that means most of the Netflix characters or actors are probably going to be back.
It's safe to assume.
It's safe to assume, oh my God, Echo's going to have her show. She's probably going to run into Daredevil. I can't wait for that. I love Charlie Cox as Daredevil. I can't wait to see that, because if you watch the video from or on Wednesday, I was very excited for Daredevil.
Yep.
We watched this movie. Peter gets arrested. They're like, don't talk to anybody, you need a lawyer. And there is a scene where Peter and May and Happy are talking to somebody who obviously is a lawyer. And
they have hired.
Yep. And then you see the stick, and then it's like, oh crap, that's the stick! And just there's Charlie Cox.
I'm Matt Murdock. I'm your lawyer. I'm doing all the lawyer things. And then I was like, okay, maybe they're setting up. He has like 3 lines in this movie.
Yep.
And they set up, hi, I'm Matt Murdock. And I was like, maybe he's just a lawyer in this universe. Maybe like, who knows what's going on. Boo, 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 boo. Brick comes through the window. He catches it. I was like,
Without looking!
Without looking.
Just snags it out of the air.
And it's like, hi, hello, I'm Matt Murdock. I'm also Daredevil. I'm here. and I'm out, and then he's out, and then they never talk about it again. It was just like...
It is so good. I'm a very good lawyer. It is so good. There was no build up to it. It was just like, and I'm here. Hello, everyone. Did you miss me?
What's up, nerds?
We totally did. And guys, this movie, the timing of this.
I can't stop smiling.
The time. When we were walking out there, I was like, just the pure timing of Daredevil being in this movie, knowing full well that Kingpin's reveal was going to be in the 5th episode.
The day before.
The day before. I mean, this movie's already kind of been out in some places. The same week, a day before, after, or the day before, of actually seeing Charlie Cox as Daredevil in a movie, meaning he's in the MCU.
Yeah.
Like, the time, years. They've been planning this for years. I need to hug somebody at Marvel. Because, I mean... What did we do to deserve this?
Nothing.
You guys have been extremely nice to us. Like you put. I mean,
we paid him for it. I mean, like, let's not.
But let's be honest. It's a small moment in this movie full of just amazing, huge moments that have been building for 20 years that we didn't even realize. But the fact that they took the time to intricately plan the reveal of the Netflix characters in some capacity joining the MCU proper. That they're like, you know what? Our fans deserve it.
Yeah.
We are going to do yeoman's work to so that it is literally boom, boom, they're here.
Yeah.
It seems like, forgive me for being a Marvel shill for a moment, which apparently that's the thing we're doing now.
We just like the things. Hey, can you stop assigning... Can you stop gatekeeping us? And B, can you stop assigning us roles? These soy boy shills. Can you just knock it off? We just like a thing. Like, get off our butts
But
about
they
it.
seem to really appreciate the fact that their fan base is rabid and right there with them because they're earning it.
Yeah.
Moments like this they earn our loyalty with things like this. They're going to lose their minds when we show them D'Onofrio's Kingpin. Psst,
By the way,
Charlie Cox is Daredevil tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Like, are you kidding me? I cannot wait. Thank you. It was so cool, and I think I was the only one that went, yeah, in the theater.
No, we both were. Honestly, when we, I think I said a couple of expletives pretty loudly, but also like that was the one weird thing about the movie. I was like, I feel like we were the only ones that were like just straight up like, woo! Like when the three of them, I'm gonna swear, just deal with it. Because this is what happened when the three of them popped up on the top of the Empire State Building. I couldn't help it. I just said out loud, "Fuck yeah! Woo!" I was like, "Woo!" They're all like doing the thing, and I was like, witness me! Witness me! Ooh, yeah, man.
Okay, Charlie Cox's moment, amazing. Daredevil's in the MCU.
Yes.
Can't wait for more of that. Moving on, Doc Ock's reveal was fantastic. That scene was so beautifully done in that Peter was there for a reason trying to help his friends. And then all of a sudden, Doc Ock, from the final fight scene of Spider-Man 2, shows up like as he was like just beating the crap out of Peter. And it's like, wait a second, now I'm here. Oh, wait a second, Spider-Man, I gotta keep kicking your butt.
Yep.
And then like Peter saves the day and his friends going to MIT all at the same time. Basically stopping and saving Doc Ock.
Yeah.
Who instantly gets his nanotech. That was so cool.
Yeah, it was so good. But then also Peter like hacking it. And,
yes.
Like, it was
that
just...
makes perfect. Yes.
But also,
I'm like 20 years in the future from where you've been. I know what to do.
I think we're skipping one major part.
Sure. What?
This may be the best use and writing characterization of Doctor Strange we've seen to this point.
Yes.
He was just... The scene where he was just like, you didn't go talk to the admissions people? What? You wanted me to cast a worldwide spell and you couldn't just get him on the horn? I was just like, yeah, this is I was like, this is fair. Yeah, Peter he's when he's just like, I sometimes forget that you're a kid. And it's like, he's 15. Like, come on.
Well,
bro.
To be honest, high school doesn't really prepare you for applying to colleges.
No.
So, like, Doctor Strange definitely had a point, but at the same time, there was no way, being a teenager at one point and remembering how hard it was to get into a college and deal with all that stuff.
Yeah.
Peter had no idea he could appeal or talk to somebody in person. There's no way. It was also, he's been busy, saving the universe and stuff like that. So, like, I totally get it. But at the same time, he was not prepared for doing that. But the magic spell that the way they worded it to pull everybody in was a very nice touch. Because I thought it was just going to be like, somehow the multiverse just breaks. It was like, no, it was like the wish worded wrongly.
Yeah.
Got everybody involved. Very well done. It was a very nice little, it made the premise not so grandiose.
Yeah. But it also, the way we understand that magic works, it was like, no, that's plausible. That doesn't seem like too far of a leap.
Moving forward, we see Green Goblin for a second, who then has his own character moment, which was amazing.
I'm going to be 100% honest with you. The Green Goblin is one of my favorite Marvel characters.
Oh.
Completely full stop. I absolutely love the Osborns. I am all in on that. Even when, the Uruk kid is the good Green Goblin for a while, I love all of it. And the scene with him and Aunt May, I was just like, I am blown away with what's happening right now. I didn't know I needed this so bad, but I really need it. And I think it speaks to a lot, they retconned all of these characters and all of these franchises in a way that it just, I just feel like it was like a warm balm on some, on some wrongs. You know what I mean? I was like, there's these things that have always kind of scratched me. I'm like, no, they're gonna fix it eventually. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Having all the bad guys, and then let's handle the bad guys first. Having all the bad guys come in and pretty much meeting up, pretty much within inside of 20 minutes of starting to be on screen or whatever.
Yeah.
All of them are basically there.
Yeah.
And also having Peter turn a suit inside out for kind of another cool spider suit was actually kind of cool.
Yeah, it was.
But having all of the villains there, and then having the debate of well, we're going to use this cool MacGuffin box and just take it back and you're all going to die. And they're like, I don't want to. Can we not do that? And then Peter being forced to wait a second, I'm not the guy that kills people. I do have to do the right thing.
Yeah.
I do have to try to save them. But having them, it seemed like this movie allowed these characters to have enough time to actually talk and figure out their own characters more than the original films did, because we were too much on tracks getting them towards villainy.
Yeah.
To then be no, I'm doing this because.
Yeah.
And when we had moments where they were saved, towards the end, right before they die, there wasn't enough time for them to have conversations with Peter, long conversations about stuff. Because they had to hurry up and die, because the runtime is, we're cutting it 2 hours now, we gotta go. But this movie was full of enough time for everybody to talk really
to have relationships.
Yes, and to know their characters and relationships to other villains, to Peter, or their Peter, as it were. To really oh my God, Max actually is a good character.
And it's funny, yes.
Oh my God, Dr. Octavius is oh yeah. He had moments, but now we have...
Well, the interesting thing is that I feel like the audience actually goes on the same journey as Peter, in that when Doctor Strange was no, this is their destinies. You don't understand. In my head, I was yeah, man, yes, he's right. You need to push this. You got him. Great job. We need to put an end to this.
Yeah.
But as the movie goes on, the movie almost convinces you along with Peter. And the minute that he put the thing on Doc Ock and he just looks at Peter again, I was just oh no, we gotta save him. I was we gotta save all of them. When Norman, I think it might be my favorite part of the whole movie, when Norman and Peter are working on the thing, and he's just you're really smart. If
do you want to come to my dimension?
Do you want to come to my dimension for a job? This is great, because I was this is the dynamic of between the two of them that I just really truly love.
So all the villains got.
Sorry, I just got lost, and I just didn't.
Rightfully so.
That whole apartment sequence, I got, and the one thing I also really love, and all these characters have their own these very clear intentions, and Sandman's just like, I just want to bail, guys.
I just want to go home to my kid.
I just want to bail.
I left the final movie just to go home to my kid.
Yeah.
I don't actually want to be a bad guy. I just want to go home.
I am the victim of circumstance in a pretty spectacular fashion in this one. Like, I just want to bail. Yeah, man.
So, Green Goblin convinces Electro to, not do the thing so we can all break out and go evil real quick. And then we lose Aunt May. I honestly thought she was going to be fine for a second, but man. I knew, as soon as she started collapsing, I was like, oh, she said the thing. Oh, we do need this moment. Oh, she needs to go.
She got hit by the glider. There was no way.
She got hit by the glider. And I was like, oh, we have not had this moment for, Peter 1, as it was. So, oh, we do need, oh, no, we need this. Oh, I'm sad. But, but I was sad, but, nope, this is our Uncle Ben moment.
Because we haven't gotten there yet. And I didn't realize it until she, and also, I have been on record as saying Marissa Tomei is not my Aunt May.
Sure.
I have never been totally on board with the concept. I've never loved it. But, and you gotta give her credit. This is why she is one statues. But, when she said that, she meant it. And it shook me. And we've heard that line a million times before. We kind of knew it was coming. But even still,
but not from her. This is the first time that I've seen that Aunt May has the moment.
Yeah.
We've lost May before in comics and different iterations and stuff here and there. But
it's always sad.
But having May remind Peter that, no, man, you have to save them. If you save one, you save everybody. And then she knows she's going. But we didn't know. It was really good.
Yeah.
It was really good. So the end of Act 2 is really sad, right? It's really sad because, oh no, we lost the thing and everything and everyone's gone bad and oh no, what are we going to do? Because Peter just got his ass handed to him and it's all going wrong.
Do you know what the rooftop with great responsibility is? It is a well-written, your mother's name is Martha? That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's all I could think. I was like, oh no, this is how that's supposed to work. I was like, that's the moment where they all just dial in with each other, and I'm like, yes.
Well, let's back up 5 minutes.
Okay.
Because end of Act 2, it's crazy sad. Peter got shot. He got shot or winged or something. Everything's
got the suit. He's fine.
Everything's going wrong. And so, and we just lost Aunt May, and so Peter's devastated. And we then cut to MJ and Ned. I was like, great, okay, we need to start Act 3. This is the best way to doing it. And Ned is magic. Which was is a dumb line he said at the beginning. My mom thinks I'm kind of magic. Well,
she says it runs in our family.
Yeah. And all of a sudden he's slingering, and I'm like, that's ridiculous. But that's fun.
He doesn't do it well.
No. It's just
well enough.
Yeah. So, again, wrongly worded wish gets the wrong Peter. But when the thing opens up, it is like, Peter, and he goes, huh? Everyone in our theater was like, because everyone knew we didn't know which one it was.
And of all the things in this movie, I think that scene is actually the most genius part of it. Giving us both Peters, both other Peters, before to just Ned and MJ and I'm actually really mad at myself that I forgot the grandma's name. Luna?
I think something like that, yeah.
Lola? Something?
Ned's abuela.
Giving us that scene and setting them up, it just speaks to what we were saying earlier. It just let it breathe a little bit. We didn't just hit the third act and then just race towards the finish.
Right. They didn't just race it out of nowhere out of a portal and to help Peter 1. We had a whole 45 minutes of 3 Spider Bros talking to each other, trading war stories a little bit.
Being brothers, man.
Figuring out how they're different tech.
Being brothers. Oh, it was.
But not only that, but the small moments of them being like, when Ned rolls up to Tobey Maguire and I was like, hey, would you have a best friend? And he was like, yeah, I did. And he died in my arms after he tried to kill me. It was, heartbreaking. And then just like rolls out. But like that.
Ah, cool, man.
Like Spider-Man 3 was not great, but like
had some moments.
It had definitely had some moments. But just having Tobey Maguire like have this catharsis moment of like an epilogue to these other movies.
Yeah.
Of seeing where these Peters are now. Well, we don't know kind of where time-wise where they are, but just later on. But to have them reflect on their adventures and like see the hurt in their eyes of all the things I couldn't do.
Yeah. Like when Garfield keeps talking about how he couldn't save Gwen and he was like, I just went into a rage and I became bitter. And I was like,
yeah.
But to that point, I want to see that movie. Like, maybe can we?
I mean, that's the weird thing. Like,
I will. If I walked away from this, and I already like the movies, I know they're flawed, but I still like them. I walked away from this movie being like, I mean, we could revisit Spectacular Spider-Man, right? I mean, we could go back there for a little bit. Just to watch Andrew Garfield.
He's multiverse is a thing. He is canon. He's a canon. Like,
especially when he was like, man, I'm just like not, like I felt like a Russian guy in a rhino suit. Like, I'm not as cool. And they're like, no, you're cool. I was like, you're good. Don't worry about it. I was like, I felt like they were talking to me for liking those movies so much. I was like, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Because Andrew Garfield's my dude. He will always be my Spider-Man. I don't know why, but I just,
So them, being Spider Bros, figuring out the plan. Okay, we're gonna cure everybody. Yeah. I can do this because I fought him before. I've already cured Connors before, so I can handle this. And then the organic web shooter thing was hilarious. It's like you can't. It's like, no, I can make my own web fluid. This is really hard. Like, this it's just.
Does it ever come out anywhere else? We were all thinking it. We've all said it before. If you're gonna make it organic, there's gonna be a dick joke thrown in there. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, there's been dick jokes for 20 years about it. But so just they're having conversations, and they had a huge scene of them just talking and just being Peters and like bonding, and it's just great. And then we move to like their final confrontations. Like, we're gonna figure it out. And then even though it
doesn't go great initially.
Well, they make the call to try to get him there, or whatever. And then we still have a couple of minutes of them setting things up, still talking about stuff, like talking back and forth about not feeling so great, not thinking I'm the joke, and it's like, no man, you're awesome. Oh, my back hurts. It's all the swinging, cracking his back, like
and I think there are people that are gonna be like that. Why do they even have? It's like, it's just the little things. I just need to. I just want to live with these people for a little bit.
Yes.
I don't need to see them swinging and kick ass the whole time. I kind of just want to see my friends.
Yes. I want to see my old friends.
That's it.
Meet some new friends.
Yeah.
And bond over their shared experiences and be bros. And there was a lot of moments they took moments in the third act to just be bros. Yeah. Like, this isn't going well. We don't know how to work as a team. We've been solo artists the whole time. I was like, wait a second, I've actually played in a team. I was an Avenger. Oh, cool. What's an Avenger?
Wait, you're in a band? That's awesome.
The script is so full of those little meta jokes of just like, that's right, because these universes don't have them.
I've never fought anybody in space.
Tell me more about this purple guy with rocks. Like, it's so okay. So I'm Peter 1, you're Peter 2. I guess I'm Peter 3 then. There's Peter 3.
Yeah, I've just been smiling.
Right? It's just so. And then the moment they edited it in the trailer, so not the side shot where everyone's fighting each other, but the one where they're on top of the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
When Peter lands first, but the other two are on the back on the spokes. Like, it's just, we're the team. Let's do Spider Bros. Woo! And they all, they did a little version of, wait, me? Is it Doctor? No, I'm Peter. No, he's Peter. No, I'm Peter Parker. Peter Parker. Peter Parker. Peter Parker. They couldn't outright do the, you're Spider-Man, but they couldn't outright do that. But that we're all the same. You gotta figure it out. All leading up to the end when our current Peter
1,
Peter 1 rightfully wants to kill Osborn because he took out Aunt May.
It's not Osborn, it's the Goblin. They're
Goblin. And he's just
Norman Osborn is
pulling
an okay
moves,
dude.
doing stuff out of the video game. It was nuts. And then Tobey Maguire stops him from murdering Osborn. It was just...
I didn't realize how much, like, I feel healed by this movie. And I didn't realize that that's what was going to be the takeaway, but it was just like, we don't have to do this. Like, you don't have to do this.
Yeah, I'm sorry, let me back up real quick. Because all of our Spider-Men had moments with their villains from previous movies, and they had a moment with them. Like, was it Flint Marko? Like, dude, you can go home to your daughter. It's fine. I got this. I'm going to cure you. You're not outside anymore. You're a person. Just stay here. You're safe. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's okay. I got you. With Octavius, like, who comes in, and I rightfully guessed, thank God, has his hero moment and saves the day.
That warmed the cockles in my heart.
Right?
I
because
didn't know
he's
I needed
not
that either.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, because they were such good friends before it all went awry.
Yep.
And just what an ice cold bath it was when he came back to, like, he was like, it's been so loud in my head, and I was like, welcome back, man. Welcome back. We can heal you. Like, there is redemption for everyone.
And then Lizard heals. Lizard doesn't really get too much of a moment because he was okay for the most part.
They spent the amount of time they needed to with him.
But then when Octavius like puts the thing on,
because he was the only one that could do anything about it.
Puts the thing on Electro, and then Max and Peter have a moment, and I was like, no man, you've always been cool. You're a really cool guy. Like, I noticed you. Like it fixed that moment from that movie. Like, it was a really good, touching moment for Andrew Garfield. Like, it was like, yeah, you're a good dude, man. It's all good.
Okay.
It's okay. You're okay. It's all good. But honestly...
But also, he was way cooler in this movie than he was in the other ones.
Well, I mean, the fact that they gave him the thing, the little electro thing.
Him getting that was very good.
And also...
who would have thunk that one of like the better one of the better characters in this one was gonna be his Electro. I mean, right?
I mean, Jamie Foxx is a fantastic actor.
He's great,
but he wasn't given
they did such a poor job with that character in that movie. So like, again, it makes me like the old movies way better. Sorry, go on.
But probably one of the most emotional moments of the whole final act was when Andrew Garfield is able to save MJ from falling off the side of the Statue of Liberty, and they held on it for just long enough for him to be like, I did it, and I saved somebody. And I didn't really care about that movie that much.
No,
But, like, having him actually, like... It was really good. Like, it's very small moments of them realizing that I'm okay and I did it. And, like, and she's like, are you okay? And he's like... I am now, and I gotta get back to the fight. But like,
because I guess it all comes down to like, in a really subtle way, this movie is an exploration on how damaged Peter Parker is.
Yeah.
Regardless of what universe he is, like the amount of stuff he has just grinned and bared as Spider-Man, and as Peter Parker, is just so much. And that, like, not only do the villains need healing, but so do these Spider-Men. In a way that, I just wasn't... Man, it's just a really hopeful movie. Like...
Well, I mean, all leading up to the part where, Tobey Maguire stops Tom Holland from killing Osborn, and then he gets shanked in the back, and we talked about this afterwards. Like, I was like, you're not going to kill him.
They might.
They could.
They could.
They could. I wouldn't be surprised.
But then
I
they made
hope
it a bit,
don't.
and
I really
I'm
hope,
fine with it.
Yes. As soon as he jokes about I've been stabbed before.
I've been stabbed before.
Thank God.
I was like,
thank God.
thank
Thank God. Please don't. I can't lose a Spider-Man. I can't lose one of these Spider-Man. Please, the one.
And truly, one of the. But also when Osborn comes back and he goes, "What have I done?" I was like, "Oof, man! This is." He gives one of the... we needed this Goblin in the first movie so hard. Like, this was... But the hardest I laughed in the movie. So, like, he's holding them up, and they're just, like, having their moment, blah, 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 and he's like, you're in a lot of pain, are you? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I was like, yes, that's the perfect send-off for the two of them. Like, I'm not good. I'm going to have to hope I blip back to a hospital, because, wow. I'm in a world of pain. It's very good. Whew.
And then the Spider Bros hug. I like really like it was, man. That's probably one of the best moments of the year. Of just having all three of them like,
Yeah.
really bond and hug and like be Spider Bros before they gotta go. It was just like, they need like a Spider support group of Spider-Man because like they've been through some stuff and like the only people that could really understand it is another Peter.
And I think this is one of the like as far as comic book movies go. This has felt like one of the more meaningful, from a like a large like theme perspective. Mm-hmm. This whole movie felt like extraordinarily meaningful for everyone involved, not just the good guys but the bad guys too. Mm-hmm. Like, I know that sounds corny as hell, but like everyone learns a lesson here in a way that like I feel like I learned a lesson. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's hard to do. Mm-hmm. That is not easy.
On top of following the previous Spider-Man film, on top of figuring out what's next for our Spider-Man now. To go back and retcon, give these characters moments and epilogues to their film franchises. To continue this film franchise. To reset this film franchise in a way that's masterful.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people complain like, oh, Peter shouldn't be getting backed by Tony Stark. Peter should, figure out all this technology on his own.
And I agreed with those points, to be quite frank.
Right.
I mean,
Well,
we live in a world where everyone has forgotten Spider-Man. And we live in a world where we are getting, in a really refreshing way, I knew he was going to leave that coffee shop.
Yeah.
He had to.
He couldn't do it.
He had to. Mm-hmm. They got their happy endings out of this. And he's the only one that's going to have to bear that pain. Mm-hmm. But again, it just speaks to, like, Spider-Man just taking lump after lump after lump. Mm-hmm. But we get a blank slate Spider-Man.
Yep.
Brave New World.
We don't know. Yes.
The balls. The balls.
He just starts from square one now. It's Spider-Man year one now.
And we're getting Spider-Man in the, like, collegiate, taking pictures for the Daily Bugle kind of Spider-Man that is, like, usually my bread and butter. Mm-hmm. In a way that apartment looked really familiar, huh?
It did look awfully familiar.
It doesn't, here's the thing, it doesn't look like Tobey Maguire's apartment. It just looks...
very close to it,
though. It looks like every comic book Peter Parker apartment ever. Mm-hmm. I was like, yep, this is what I grew up reading. It was this apartment. Mm-hmm. This is the guy.
So yeah, the movie ends. Peter's been totally forgotten. Even Happy doesn't even recognize him, and no one even remembers that Peter was Aunt May's, nephew. It's really sad. But Peter starts from basically square one, and we don't know what's going to happen next. That's the thing. I would very much like to know what the future holds for, at least Marvel-wise. Like, hey, what are you guys going to do? Because I know, like, the contract's up. Like, I know real world-wise, guys, what's the plan? Because we know there's going to be that animated series of Spider-Man Year 1 in our freshman year or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's cool. That's going to be great. But, like, hey, I'm really, really invested in the Spider Bros now.
Yeah.
Like, very hard. Like, Jay's like, could we go back to see what Andrew Garfield's up to?
Why not?
Why not?
Why not? They're trying to set up Sinister Six there.
Animate something, do, whatever. Like, if you want to, sure, that would be great if he's up for it.
Animate something. That's actually not half bad.
That's probably an easier way of going about it. If you guys want to do that, that'd be great. I'd be down for that. Hopefully Andrew's up for it as well. But, like, what's next for Tom Holland's Spider-Man? Because, like, really interested to see what happens next with him. Because, like, we're leaving him in a kind of a weird and vulnerable place, and I would like to hang out with him some more. That being said, I hope they figure out the contracts and like please make more stuff with him. I
think
hope
this-
he's involved with the MCU going
I think
forward.
this movie is going to make enough money.
This movie's gonna make a crap ton of
I
money.
shudder. Man, that movie theater was packed. Like, to the point where I was like, I don't know how comfortable I am right now.
Yep.
But also Spider-Man. but better like...
all of the Spider-Mans. Yes, hopefully we find out soon, or in the relative near future, that like, hey, Sony and Marvel are continue their partnership for more Spider-Man stuff. Tom Holland has signed another contract. Back up the truck to his house.
Yeah.
As long as he's willing to do this, let's keep doing this.
Yeah.
Because like he's young enough. This is great. This is great. And also because let's go ahead to the after credits scene or the mid credits scene. Man, oh man. Whoever came up with the idea of porting Venom over at the end of his movie
For just a post-credit sequence. Because we got in the third act, I was like, are we going to see Venom at any point?
I was also thinking,
Because I was like,
is he
we
going to
saw
be the
that
sixth
post-credit
member?
sequence.
Is he going to be
But
the
he
sixth
ported
member?
it into Mexico for some reason. So he's so far away. But Eddie, I will say, Eddie Brock just trying to make sense of the universe he's been ported into. Like, it was really well done. And it was like, I was like, oh, they did this just for a bit. And a good one. Sometimes you get memed on and you're like, you get Richard Boner and you're like, how dare you? But this moment I was like, no, great. But also, what a clever way of just maybe leaving a little bit of symbiote behind.
A little bit. Oh, Venom.
The one thing they also haven't explained, and this may be something Venom knows, but Eddie doesn't know, they only ported people that knew that Peter Parker was Spider-Man. So what is that?
Oh, he did know. Because remember, he flashed in just as the Daily Bugle thing went live. Peter Parker is Spider-Man!
No, but he ported in.
Oh, that's right. Oh, I see what you're saying.
So either Eddie Brock knew it because he was just a really good reporter, and they just figured it out, or Venom knew. And why would Venom know? I don't know. It's just interesting.
I thought it was just a very clever way of introducing the symbiote into the MCU. Because now the symbiote is a symbiote. A little part of it is here. Which means that little thing is going to make its way to New York.
I'm going to be
then
honest,
we
though.
can actually have Venom.
Why it's frustrating for me is that I think I think he has. Why can't I think of the actor's name right now?
Tom Holland?
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy, yes.
Tom Hardy has given such a good performance in those movies. I feel like he's deserved to stay over in a way that pisses me off.
I mean,
You know what I
kind
mean?
of, but at
You
the
know what I
same
mean?
time, but at the same time, that Venom doesn't really make sense with Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's hyper violent. Yeah, it doesn't.
And that the buddy cop thing.
You're right.
The lethal protector thing didn't quite make sense because now, like, let's be honest, hopefully now that Marvel has a plan for that little symbiote, because
is Eddie Brock is Tom Hardy gonna continue to voice Venom?
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Well, I mean, it's the same symbiote.
It is the same symbiote. That symbiote would know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
That's pretty cool. Actually.
So, like, they could do this in the next two movies. Like, because remember, Venom should have been introduced in the third, but not, like, showed up until the fourth.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, in the next Spider-Man proper movie, maybe he gets the black suit.
I just figured out why it is.
Okay.
Probably every version of Eddie Brock got pulled in because Eddie Brock from Spider-Man 3 knew that Peter Parker was Spider-Man. So that Eddie Brock also comes in as well. Right?
Possibly.
Right?
Sure.
That tracks.
I like that.
That's the only explanation that makes sense to me right now.
Why not?
Sorry, I got really lost in the sauce on that.
But you're right, he did. There's no reason why. Yeah, because he should have been there too.
Because the universe was like, we need an Eddie Brock, because Eddie Brock knew, but he's not there because he's dead. And whoop. Okay.
Why not?
Okay.
All I know is they've set up enough pieces that this Spider-Man in the MCU can keep going, and especially because now we can get a proper Venom Spider-Man, black suit, and then the Venom, he actually fights Venom.
Yeah.
The Venom we know from the comics. So, here's hoping for the future of Spider-Man.
Yeah, and also,
I want to see that. I really want to see that.
And then post-credit sequence, Multiverse of Madness looks really good. I think that's all we need to say about it. It
Yep.
just looks
It
awesome.
looks great. Also, I forget the name of the character who is joining.
Yeah, we
one-
couldn't remember
the
who
one
this.
with his star jacket.
Just remind us in the
Yeah,
comments.
I know she's a multiversal character who handles things in the multiverse. But I
Sure.
totally forgot who she is. Please let us know.
Is it Nova?
No.
Is it a Nova Corp situation?
No.
Okay.
She's her own character.
All right.
But yeah, overall, this movie is fantastic. Oh, and
Golly.
Spider-Man beat a Doctor Strange in a straight-up fight with the power of math. That was very clever.
pretty good.
That was pretty good. That was quite
Also,
good.
that sequence was, you know, and it's one thing I forget about the original Doctor Strange is that there were some crazy awesome sequences in that movie, and I was like, oh yeah, if we could get just a little flavor of this in every single movie he's ever in, that'd be great. Please and thank you, because that was awesome. I was like, I didn't know I needed to see Spider-Man in the mirror dimension, but yeah. Yeah, it was good.
It was quite good.
All right.
All right, Jay, we talked for 45 minutes about this movie. We
Yeah.
could probably talk longer, but we're not. Jay, how would you rate Spider-Man's No Way Home?
This one's getting 3 out of 3 Spider-Mans. That's it. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, man.
I mean, like,
This is probably one of my most favorite movies of all time now.
yeah.
Like, this is now my top 5 favorite
Yeah,
movies of
this is-
all time.
Yeah, this is like Avengers level threat kind of movie. Like, this is as good as Endgame, in my opinion.
Yeah. But, but like in that same vein, but a little bit different because it's a little bit more, has a little bit more of a heart to it.
Yes.
Because there were a lot of emotional moments at the end, in Endgame during that final battle, right? But,
Yeah.
but this was just like 3 of the same character dealing with, so everyone having a really, really taking a break of emotional moment and having catharsis, having their epilogue, having the moment they needed to round out their character.
And let's be real. I think the biggest triumph of this entire movie, and the thesis statement is, do you know what this movie could have been the whole time, but wasn't?
What's that?
Remember Spider-Man? Remember the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies? Remember the Garfield movies? It wasn't that. It was not nostalgia for nostalgia's sake.
No, it was not.
Everything was there for a specific purpose.
Yeah.
And just cheers. Just woof. I needed a cigarette after that movie.
Whoever wrote this movie deserves a raise. They did a fantastic job of putting this puzzle together.
Yep.
It's very, very well done. How would you guys rate this movie? Let us know in the comments below, or hop on our Discord channel where lots of fun, cool people are talking about lots of fun, cool stuff. We'd love to have you join the conversation. Link is down below in our description box. So while you're down there, please like, subscribe, and hit that bell.
Do that YouTube that you do so well. Guacamole's extra. You web-slinging weirdos, you.
Other video is popping up, right? Please watch this. We would appreciate it as much as we appreciate you watching this one. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.